session is empowering creators and revolutionizing online video maker studios and the future of entertainment. And this session will be led by Mr. René Rechtman. Let me tell you a little bit about Mr. Rechtman. He is the president of International Ad Maker Studios, and he leads the company's rapidly expanding international business. He brings more than 18 years of experience in international media and technology, including 2 major exits. He was CEO of a company called Go Viral, which was acquired by AOL. He then became the CEO of AOL Beyond, and previous to that, he was also the senior vice president of AOL International, where he was responsible for AOL Network's businesses outside the US. So he will be bringing some special guests on stage with him. So let me introduce Mr. René Rechtman and Maker Studios.
Does Olive Garden deliver? Does Olive Garden deliver?
Of course it does.
Con los terroristas.
We've truly democratized the idea of a creator being able to create what they want when they want. You disrupted the notion of a season and a format, and we're giving creators the opportunity to reach their goals.
This song totally sucks.
When we founded Maker, we wanted to be working with content creators who really didn't see it as a stepping stone, but saw it more as a place to find a home and really build an engaged long-term audience. We really are the best way to integrate with the audiences that are 13 to 34 in sort of a really truthful and organic way. Maker is unique in that we've always sort of been the innovator in the space. We're very diverse. We're not in just one category.
We've organized our business around passions and verticals.
A little party never killed nobody. Right here, right now is all we got.
Our mission is to reach as many people as we can, and because not everybody is on YouTube all the time, we look to find people wherever they are.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here today to share some of my thoughts about what's going on in this bigger world of media and entertainment. We are in a truly remarkable time right now. It's actually incredible what's going on and how few people from the old generation, the generation of me and people who are older, really understand that we are in a revolution. It's a revolution that is going through the creation, the distribution, and also the consumption of entertainment. And it's a gap of generations that we have never ever seen before. The reason that I'm flying from London and spending 13 hours in a plane and spending a whole week here is that I'm such a strong believer of what's going on, that I want to go around the world and I want to speak about it. I want to introduce the talent that is coming up from this generation and are changing the world completely. I was at MIP-TV 3-4 weeks ago. Those of you who are not familiar with MIP-TV, it's a big marketplace for trading TV content. And throughout the 3-4 days, I saw very few people under 40. That's incredible. It's incredible when an industry is under complete change that we are not inclusive. And I think it's very important to understand that it is a revolution that we're going through. Today on stage, I will bring some of the people who are driving this change, some of the most creative people on the planet. And they will share their thoughts, they will share their insights, and hopefully we'll get a great debate. But before that, I'll just share some of the things that I believe in, very quickly. The numbers, they speak for themselves. I'm not going to repeat it. We hear it every single day. But it's incredible that it's not taking bigger notice in the traditional entertainment and media industry. We have around 2.5 to 3 billion people under 34 on this planet, and they are influencing a spend of $1 trillion. This is the generation I'm talking about, and the generation that follows them, the millennials. They are driving the change. And you know what? They don't watch television, as we did. And the so-called second screen, it's not a second screen, it's the first screen. For them, it's mobile first. The data I'm sharing with you here is already dated. The latest data I pulled out from our data intelligence system is that 70% of our viewers are consuming content via the mobile device. 70%. This part of the world, it's even higher. So forget about the big screen at home is the first screen. It's just a screen. The first screen is the one we have in our pockets. When the traditional analytics companies like Nielsen or Comscore are analyzing the new generation of media companies, it's very clear who comes up at top to influence the millennials, the under 34 years. That's Maker Studios in this case, and I think if we even went deeper in to look to the data, it'll be even more significant. And maybe the most interesting thing is, it's a fraction of the cost of traditional TV. When we speak later on today on stage with the creators, we will have a debate about that. But 8% of the price of TV, we're making shows today. That's incredible. That's why we can create unlimited amount of content of quality and distribute it at scale. What is very unique, what I've learned being part of this environment for a while, is that the talent is speaking directly to the audience. That's a beautiful interaction. It's a symbiosis that I haven't seen before. No middlemen, nothing. They speak directly to each other. They're peers. They're amplifying each other's stories. For me, it's remarkable. If there's a few takeaways that I would like to provide, is the authenticity of this relationship and the content produced, and also the cross-pollination, the cooperation and interaction between creators themselves, you'll see that on stage, but also between the audience and the creators. It's remarkable. Tim, who is one of the Maker stars, is an incredible individual that I'll bring on stage in a second, has 2.4 million subscribers to his channel. Do you understand what that is? That basically is direct contact to 2.5 or 4 million people. He can talk directly to them. He doesn't need radio, he doesn't need TV. And I've compared to some of the more traditional household names, and you can see how big numbers we are talking about. I'll just play a little trailer of some of the things he's doing.
Dear DeLaGhetto, let's go.
At the end of the day, we're all about protecting people.
I can't wait till I get you on so good looking.
What up, y'all? You know what it is. Monday, Sunday, fun day. Always gotta make sure I get one day of family time with the fam. What's up, Dad? My girl is back in town. Say, subscribe to Timothy DeLaGhetto on YouTube. Los Angeles, make some noise.
So Tim here is a very gifted comedian, but more than that, he's also a musician. And what you see with a lot of the YouTube talent and the talent coming from the next generation here, they're multi-talent. They're not only one thing. Some of them are building companies. the next generation production companies. Some of them are going into animation, to music, to comedy. It's fascinating to see. But one thing that is a common denominator is they're all changing the world, and they're full of talent. I think that one of the biggest things for me is that it's fans who are driving the change. So fans are defining the success, but fans are also the distributors. They're the publishers. And those of us who don't understand that, we are missing the trick. So you need to get your fans on board. If the fans are on board, then they become what we call hobbyists. They start producing. And some of those hobbyists, they will become creators. And that's the second point that I had earlier, that creates an amplification and a cross-pollination that we have never seen in traditional media before. So understanding this value chain is quite significant for any talent or any producer or any content creator, because this is how we need to give the freedom of our content to develop. We have distributed quite a lot of videos on behalf of brands in cooperation with talent. But one thing that I would like to stress is that fandom needs to be embraced. Just look at the numbers, right? If you compare the videos produced from brands marketing their products to the results of the ones that fans have developed, it's incredible. Look at the Lego movie, right? It's incredible how many views that the Lego movie got from fan-driven videos. The same with Call of Duty, right? We need to live in this world. When I sit in front of brands and they're telling me, oh, we want to control our content, we don't like this, you know what? I leave the room. This is a conversation that's from the past. And I think it's very important that all of us embrace this new fandom, because that creates results. All this is very good if you don't have scale, right? So I think the fundamental thing that YouTube have created, and Maker and others in this environment, is that we actually have the scale to influence a culture. What BBC used to do on broadcast, we are doing now for the next generation. So the discussion that we're not only very creative, very gifted, but we also have the scale to influence a whole culture across nations, maybe a whole generation, is remarkable. So we cannot any longer be neglected. Have the most creative people in the world who are part of this, and the scale, that's a winning formula. Just took an example out of some of our data, and I couldn't believe it when they come up. But actually, just in Maker, right, we are creating 900 hours of content a day. That's incredible. When I was with BBC a few weeks ago back in London, we discussed, production of content and how much library content we're creating. But these numbers are insane. I'm just zooming quickly into this part of the world. Just in the Maker network, we have plus 700 million views a month. If you look back on the stats 18 months ago, it was very limited. And it's growing like wildfire. Local talent is coming up from everywhere. And, of course, the device that people have in their pockets are changing. So suddenly, we have a consumption explosion of our content. So I'm sure if I'm back next year, I'm not going to double those numbers, but I'm probably going to triple those numbers or more. It's a very exciting time to be in APAC. Very. I'm going to share some of the local talent we work with here. Jill is not only a creative genius, she's also a businesswoman. She's a modern time production company, and she's doing amazing things within lifestyle. We'll have her on stage in a second. I'm just going to share some of the contents he's doing.
You saw me get proposed to, get married, and now the next step is to have a baby.
Childbirth is a piece of cake.
I'm gonna find you the love of your life or die trying.
The sexual innuendo is intense.
Today we're gonna do an eyeliner review test.
Wow!
Okay, hello, this stuff is like redonkulous.
So we're here on Singapore's most famous road to identify what Singapore's street fashion is like.
I got this, which would cost 650 bucks, but I got it for 15 bucks. I was like, oh, I'm very, very happy.
Ever wondered how good a kisser you are? Do you know what a selfie is?
The Wonder Boys have landed in Perhentian Islands.
I was like Charles penis away from the turtle.
Another one I'll bring on stage in a second is Joe. Joe is coming from around the corner in Malaysia, and Joe is, like Tim, a comedian, a musician, a multi-talent. And I'm sure when we have the conversation going in a minute that you understand what I'm talking about. I've spent the last few days with these guys and they're blowing me away. You know, their opinions, their ambitions, everything they're aiming for is very inspiring. So let's see his content. Okay, enough about talking about the big picture. I think we should welcome the three talents and stars to the scene and let them have the time to express themselves and share their opinions. And in the end, we'll have a little surprise as well for you. So please stay tuned and welcome Tim, Jill, and Joe. Please join us on stage. Okay, guys, thanks for joining us here, and I'm looking forward to this panel here. I think I'm going to start with a traditional question, and maybe Tim, you should start.
Sure.
How did you get into this new world?
Originally, that's a good question, René. Thank you. Back when I was younger, I always wanted to be an actor, do the movie, TV thing. And I always kind of had an issue with the way Asians were portrayed on TV. You know, it was always like the little nerdy guy that didn't have dates, or was the kung fu guy, master, you know? And growing up, that wasn't my scene at all. And so I really wanted to be that Asian guy that was gonna break stereotypes. But I knew early on, if I wanted to go the traditional way and go on auditions and stuff like that, it wasn't really gonna work, you know? Even when I was doing extra work, it was just for like Fast and the Furious Asian stuff, you know? So I found YouTube, and I used to do short films with my friends, and we started putting them on YouTube. And since I did it so early on, I found out early on that there was this just this audience out there of Asian Americans, especially, and Asian people who weren't used to seeing Asian guys just talking about regular things and just being normal, you know, as opposed to the nerd or the kung fu master. And I gained an audience pretty quickly just because people were able to relate to me, and they had never seen that before, you know? Yeah.
Very inspiring. Good.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, Jill, would you share your story with us?
Yeah, I actually started out in TV production. So I started a TV production company about over 10 years ago, and we were just producing TV shows for the local TV networks here in Singapore. And around 2007, I started to notice a trend of a lot of young people watching stuff online on YouTube. So I thought, hey, why not, just start producing shows, but instead of for the TV networks, to produce them and put them on YouTube instead. So that's kind of how it started. So started putting one show on YouTube. It started to get a following. So I started a website called clicknetwork.tv, started putting more shows, and now we've done over 35 shows on our network. That's pretty much it.
All right, I guess it's my turn, right? So as for me, I actually did a 1-minute audition clip to enter a show and put it on YouTube. And then after that, I realized a lot of people started interacting with me, and I was like, hey, since it looks like fun, why not do more? So it sort of latched on from there. Yeah, that's how we started, I guess. Yes, René.
So from the early days, and if you compare that with today, Tim, where are you? What has happened since you broke the stereotypes and you went on screen to portray yourself as let's say a normal a person who is quite funny and multi-talented. So where are you today?
Well, because of the YouTube thing, I've definitely, I can live off of it, which is crazy. I never thought I'd be able to make a living off making silly YouTube videos in my room, But since then, I started working with Maker, and I knew signing with Maker early on would be good, just because I really wanted to legitimize what I was doing, just to kind of take it from a little kid in my bedroom shooting stupid videos with my friends. I knew that Maker would be able to, provide me with like a camera crew and just kind of make everything legit, because over the years, as everyone started to hop on the YouTube train, everything went up, like production value went up, and everybody was kind of trying to step their game up to compete, So now as a result, I've gained a really big audience, and it's opened a few different doors for me. Like I'm on an MTV2 show in the States called Wildin' Out, and I've been blessed with the opportunity to work in some independent films on the way, and travel the world performing and meeting fans, and it's just it's cool, man. Yeah, it's fun.
So talking about meeting fans, we had a debate yesterday evening and this morning. So when you walk on the streets, are you perceived as traditional A-listers? Do you have fans approaching you, asking for taking photos and get autographs, or what's the situation?
I mean, like, there is, and usually you can get vibes when that sort of happens, and they are mostly for pictures, and they'll be like, hey, can I take a photo with you? And then they'll just take a photo, and then they'll leave. And then after that, you sort of feel like, what just happened? Yeah, basically that happens. What about you, Tim?
Oh, well, I was gonna say one thing that's interesting about being a new media celebrity, I guess, is that since we tweet back people and we respond and people feel like they know you, people feel like they can just, they feel like they know you. I wouldn't just go up to a Brad Pitt and be like, hey, bro, what's up, man? How are you? You know what I'm saying? But these kids, they watch me every day. They see me respond to them on Twitter, and they have no problem getting all in my face and just hugging me and grabbing me, So, yeah, I hate that. No, just kidding. That was a joke. Thank you for laughing.
Jill, what I find fascinating speaking to you is very much that you're developing much more than profile around your own channel and yourself. You're actually creating a big business. Can you explore can you share some of those thoughts?
Yeah, well, basically, like these two, I'm not comfortable in front of the camera, so I just basically found a group of people who were, and we produced shows around these, I guess, hosts, artists, and actually, to answer your question, I mean, I don't get recognized out in public, but a lot of the hosts that I work with do, and you know, even if they've just been on for 1 or 2 episodes on a new show, they go on the street and people recognize them, come up to them and say hi. And recently I had one of the hosts just kind of in a random bar in Germany, because she's there on an exchange, and some girl just came up to her going, "I watch all your videos on YouTube and I love it." And she was like, "Oh, really?" You know, so it's a pleasant surprise. Yeah, but to answer your question about the business, yes, I think when we started, it was really hard to monetize this business, but after a while, when you start to get that critical mass of people watching your programming, it just kind of, all the sponsors and advertisers just sort of came in, and it was something that grew quite organically for us. I mean, I don't think we went out and you know, marketed ourselves in any way. It was just, you know, kind of organic, and when we had the viewers, the advertisers came in and said, "Hey, you know, we want to do some branded content with you. We want to do stuff on your shows, work with your hosts and your artists," and it just kind of happened from there.
And have you noticed a change on the Asian scene when it comes to new talent coming up?
New talent coming? Oh, absolutely. I think in the past 2-3 years, the scene has just exploded. I mean, when we started in 2007, I think we were probably the only people on YouTube, at least locally, at that time, and it was really hard to get a following. I mean, I'm sure you guys know too, when you first started.
I saw the channel at that time.
And you know, but in the past 2 to 3 years, suddenly it's just an explosion, and I think it's great. It legitimizes the industry. I think there's a new buzz and a new energy, and it's fabulous for everyone, for viewers, for advertisers, everyone.
Yeah, I was going to say what's interesting about how times have changed is that when I started trying to do videos and stuff like that, it's because I wanted to be famous in like traditional media. You know, I wanted to be Will Smith, you know. And now these kids, when they put out their videos, their goals are to be YouTube famous. You know, they want to get to where we're at, you know, which is crazy for me, because I'm still trying to be Will Smith, you know.
I think to add on that, the idea of a celebrity is really changing. You know, if you look at a traditional media A-list TV star here in Singapore, and let's say she has about 100,000 followers on Instagram, but you look at the biggest social media star in Singapore here, Xia Xue, and she's got 500,000. So it's a different idea of what celebrity is now.
Right, because for me, when I was young, right, it's like Tim, I really wanted to be an actor, but then nobody cast me. So I mean, like, in a way, YouTube sort of give people an opportunity to prove themselves. Whether you want to be an actor, a rapper, you can just do something which is totally up to your own creation and put it up on YouTube and let people watch it. So I think it's a great way for people to work for themselves now, in a way, on YouTube. Yeah.
I mean, it's quite interesting when I speak to teenagers today. There's no doubt that you guys are the big stars, right? They all want to be like you. Why is this phenomenal change so dramatically that it's not David Beckham or any of the traditional A-listers, but it's the YouTubers? Is it something for the generation? Is it something with the technology? Or why is it so that you are the gods right now for a whole generation?
Tim.
Well, I mean, I definitely feel like because YouTube is what it is, like there's a relatability there, and they feel like, you know, if this dude that looks like me can grab his camera and do this, you know, maybe I can do this too, you know, as opposed to, like, you know, you got white David Beckham, who looks like this like beautiful white chiseled god, right? And then they have me, who, you know, I'm right there with them, you know, I'm like 5'4", looking them in the eye, you know, and they're like, hey, he's my height, I can grab a camera from Best Buy, and maybe in some time I can be where he's at, you know?
So you're talking about it's authentic, yeah. It's real. I think that's a very good point.
I think it's also how viewers consume media nowadays, like the younger generation. So they're just not used to watching TV or growing up reading traditional magazines or the newspaper. They're just always online. So that's why they recognize celebrities who are online as opposed to traditional media celebrities. So I think that has a big part to play as well.
And I sort of think that the way YouTubers does videos on YouTube is, in a way, like the keyword, like homemade. So you don't get those vibes when you watch television, because it's sort of structured in a way that's quite everyone will probably know what's going to happen next, etc., etc. YouTube, it's really up to that individual on the YouTube channel. So it's content that they are not used to that is good for them, I guess.
So one of the things that always annoys me when I speak to the advertising communities, they talk about you guys like user-generated content, right? Which is of course horseshit, right? So can you guys tell me what's the development of the quality of the content over the last 5 years? Maybe Jill, you can talk about your own experience from being a single person to being 15 or 10 employees.
Yeah, I guess in terms of content, I used to produce and direct for TV, so the style is really, really different, and we're still feeling our way around. I mean, I can't say that I know the exact formula that works, because we're always trying, experimenting, but in terms of the style, it's you know, like they said, it's raw, it's real, it's concise, it's not so polished. I think that's a key thing. So we had to make that adjustment as well, coming from TV and going to online. And constantly, it just keeps changing. I think it's really, really hard to kind of put a finger on what exactly works, but you just go by feeling, and you go by, you know, feedback and engage, you know, talking to your audience and understanding your audience, and then kind of growing from there.
Is there any moment in your career that's been a breakthrough moment?
Back when I was still in college, before I dropped out to be a full-time YouTuber, I had a video that went kind of viral, I guess, my first what you would call a viral video. It was a parody of Estelle's American Boy song, and it was about why girls should date Asian guys, why we're better. And sorry, René. It was called First Asian Boy, and it was just kind of like talking about different stereotypes and stuff like that, and flipping them. And it was on a lot of Asian blog sites and forums, and just being spread around a lot. And that was the first time where people actually started to recognize me from a specific video, you know. So I guess that would be the moment.
As for me, I guess really one of the first breakthroughs is acting in a short film, actually, where it's basically, it's called Awing, #1 salesman in Malaysia. So basically, it's just this guy acting as different salesperson in different shops, but it's actually one person going through. And then after that, I go to the streets and everyone's like, "Hey, Awing, hey, Awing." So I was like, "Wow, okay." So you feel that breakthrough. So I guess that one was for me, I guess. Yeah.
I think for us, I guess it was a controversial video. We've done a few, but this one in particular, I'm just going to straight out and say, I mean, it involves two girls kissing. But the story behind it was that Xia Xue, who is one of the top Singapore bloggers and we worked with, she said, hey, I just noticed this video on YouTube, and it's about this random girl just talking about this show called The L Word. And The L Word is a show about lesbians. And she said, it's got millions of views, and it's just this girl talking about this show about lesbians. Do you think we should do a video of two girls kissing, and then, let's see if it can get crazy number of views? And I said, oh, okay, sure, who are you going to kiss? And she's like, oh, I could kiss my friend. I mean, she's an FHM model, and, I think you'll get lots of views. And okay, sure, why not? And so we did it. It did get a lot of views, and then we were asked to remove it. By the Media Development Authority of Singapore. They told us to remove that video. So we did. We took it off, but till today, it's still the most viewed video on our channel, and it's now on Xia Xue's channel, and it's the most viewed video on her channel. So I guess a controversial video kind of, started that.
We watched it this morning. It was really good.
They did.
It was lovely. So Tim, did you have a similar video on your side?
Well, actually, now that you mention it, I have a video that did really well. It was called How Not to Kiss. It shows all the really sloppy ways that you shouldn't kiss somebody. That one did pretty well, yeah. Kissing is the way to go on YouTube, I guess, yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the future? How do you think the future will look like when it comes to the entertainment industry? How are you influencing it?
I definitely feel like, I noticed as this YouTube stuff was beginning to become a thing for me, especially that nobody my age really watches TV anymore, you know? And if they're watching TV, they're watching on their laptops, or they're watching on their iPads, or i things, you know? So no one's really just sitting in front of the TV anymore, and I feel like now, I just kind of feel like everything is gonna be come together, you know, where you can flip to one thing and watch Game of Thrones, and then you're like, you know what, let me watch a Timothy video, you know, where it's just gonna eliminate all kind of like the separation, and there's gonna be this merge, yeah, and I'll be there right after Game of Thrones.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, like, I think at a point of time, if mainstream does get married with like the online side right now, I think it'll be a very good balance mix, because two different group of people will be able to sort of contribute to make better content, which both sides would actually win. So I think that marry between the two different groups would be a great thing in the future.
I mean, I think that the future is really with the people, with the indies, because in the past, the power was with the traditional media companies, but right now, really anyone can have that power to reach out to a large audience. Technology is changing, viewer behavior is changing, and I mean, I think these guys also just proof of that anyone can not just be a star, but also have the power to control and influence minds, not just the traditional media companies anymore.
And what's the dream, Tim?
My dream? Yeah. I'm trying to be Will Smith.
Still?
Yeah, well, actually, I mean, the plan for my life is something I set up for myself a long time ago. It's called the Fresh Prince format.
Oh, yeah, that sounds
and that would be to do everything that Will Smith did in his career. Do music, do TV, and then do movies, you know, do blockbusters. So actually the name DeLaGhetto comes from an old episode of The Fresh Prince, if you didn't know that. But yeah, I'm just trying to take over the world, man, one video at a time. That's it.
Great, I love ambition.
Yeah, I mean, for Click Network, I mean, we just hope to produce more shows. We, large part of our audience is in Singapore right now. We'd love to go beyond Singapore and, take it global, really. Just produce different formats and versions of our shows, but in other countries.
To really be an entertainer, I guess, in all forms. Yeah, that would be what I want.
Do you have global ambitions as well?
Can I be Will Smith's son?
You don't want to be Jaden, bro.
But I mean, like, being an actor, it's actually really one of the things that I really, really want to pursue. But one step at a time, YouTube actor, yay.
Great. Listen, I think it's time for a little surprise, and Tim, you're part of that.
Oh yeah, sure.
So why don't you take over the stage?
Okay, cool. All right, I'm
leave you alone.
I'm actually gonna perform First Asian Boy, which was my viral hit. Just to give you guys a hint of what I do, since I'm a comedian and a rapper, this is kind of a funny song, sort of. Sure. All right. This is about why girls should date Asian guys. Feel free to, don't feel pressure to get too excited. I know it's a business crowd. You can play that, sir. Or not. Do you guys have the CD or? So, welcome to Digital Matters. My name is Timothy DeLaGhetto. I have 2.4 million subscribers on YouTube, 500 million overall video views. I rap, I do comedy sketches, I vlog. I'm from LA. I'm a Pisces. There should be a CD back there somewhere. How are you guys doing?
We are having a few problems with the playback, just be a minute.
Yeah, that's cool. Here, I'm gonna vlog while we wait, if that's cool. I have a second channel. It's my vlog channel. It just kind of documents my everyday life. The kids like that stuff. They're really nosy. Hold on. Okay, guys, so I'm on stage at Digital Matters. I'm trying to convince all these people to invest in YouTubers and send me money and send money to Maker. I'm about to perform. I'm just waiting on my playback. And check it out. There's the crowd. Yeah. Okay. I didn't even make them do that. And it's a business crowd.
So I have to kill some time on stage.
Sure, thank you. Oh, my God.
Let me ask you, they are about to get this fixed with some questions.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So I think everyone, the burning question is what happens when Disney or Maker becomes Disney?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your reaction to the news and what do you expect?
I was really excited about the Disney news because I have stock in Maker, so big check for me. And I'm definitely excited for what might come because of that. Like, if I have any chance to be in a Star Wars movie, that would be amazing. You know, I'd love to be a Jedi, even if I was in the background. That'd be cool.
That sounds like a formal request.
Yeah, no, I've tweeted at Disney and Maker like, hey guys, squeeze me into a little Star Wars movie. No one replied. And yeah, man, I'm really excited. I'm a big Disney fan, so anything like in terms of Marvel or Disney that I could, you know, we have access to their IP now too, so if I can use that in my videos, that'd be really cool. It's just exciting overall. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. I think the problem has been fixed.
Yeah?
So I think it's showtime. Thanks.
All right. Just quick, just one song. So, you never dated an Asian guy before? Girl, you crazy. I'm telling you, Asian guys are the way to go. Here, just listen. Let me introduce myself, cause I know that you ain't used to an Asian dude stepping to you like me. But hey, give it a chance, I just might be just the refreshing squeeze a lemon you need in your life when it gets depressing. Come with me and decrease the stressing. A new type of dude, let me teach you a lesson. Baby girl, don't trip, come on, just take my hand. I'll introduce you to my world, stop in Thailand. I really want to show you how we do. I can be your first Asian boy. Wanna get away? What you got to lose? Come on in, girl, take off your shoes. Show me your soul and I can show you mine. If your toes ain't did, well, boo, that's just fine. My aunt does nails, nah, I'm just playing. Don't get too comfy, cause we ain't staying. Take you to Beijing while we're dating. Show you the Great Wall, it's amazing. Show me your soul in Seoul, Korea. I've been looking for a girl like you my whole career. In the Philippines scene, we're riding slow-mo. So in the low, we chicken adobo. If you got skills, then you should show me. Cause all of our houses got karaoke. Chinese, Japanese, Thai, Pinoy. Go ahead and take your pick, girl. Asian boys. Baby girl, don't trip, come on, just take my hand, yeah. I'll introduce you to my world, stop in Thailand. I really want to show you how we do. I can be your first Asian boy. She said, it's really nice to meet you. Likewise, I never had a boy like you with Thai eyes. Step to me, get with a game like yours. I said, pack your bags and come on my tour. Let down your hair while I cook some rice. And I swear that we don't all look alike. And no, I'm not no math expert, but you plus me, I know it just works. So pause your life and start to rewind and leave all them other lame dudes behind. Show you how I do in my continent, where the ladies get respect and compliments. Confident, not gonna be staring all night, cause I'm not your average stereotype. More than making shoes and making toys, I can make you smile, yo Asian boy. Yeah. Make some noise. Yeah. I really want to show you how we do. I can be your first Asian boy. Konnichiwa wa-san. Who killing them on YouTube? She gon' respond like you, dude. A shock to me, I didn't think she'd be watching me. She said, can we go get some pho now? I said, get some what? Oh, wow, actually it's pronounced pho. Oh, well can we go get some pho? Show. He chinky, I know what you're thinking. He look like he always blinking. Take my hand, come to Thailand. She love my ties, but not what you're drinking. Tell me what's your mental about this Orient. So gentle man, but I break you off like the tip of a pencil. Dress fly like the freshest prince. Before they out got the freshest kicks. And you thought I was just a hype beast, girl, look at my Nikes, ain't nobody like me. And I know you ain't into my kind, I seen your exes, they not impressive, but I still make my cat ass. How
always on my grind, I'm a good investment. So if you like Gin Winnie flows or Dante Bosco or no black shows, then maybe you should date me, cause we make some pretty babies. Let's get some Thai grub, Thai grub, Thai grub, maybe some rice. How about some boba, boba, boba with extra ice? Baby girl, don't trip, come on, just take my hand. I'll introduce you to my world, stop in Thailand. I really want to show you how we do. I can be your first Asian boy. Gong, thank you.
Timothy, that was amazing, thank you. Thank you, Timothy, and thanks once again to René, Joseph, and Gillian, and the Maker Studios team. That sounds like the future of entertainment as they explained.